So how are you? Friends, you must have heard the name of dinosaur. These dinosaurs roamed this earth for a prolonged period of 180 million years. Viewers, scientists have found 900 such fossils, which are linked to different species of dinosaurs. According to an estimate, when the Jurassic period was at its peak, there used to be 400 billion different kinds of dinosaurs on Earth. The first dinosaur fossil was found in Norway, when it was discovered by workers, during drilling in Snorre oil field. This fossil was buried 2,250 meters deep below the sea bottom. But due to being buried in the ground for a long time, it had lost its original state. Most of the fossils turned into oil, which we process and use as fuel. Often we found bits and pieces of their bones. And if luck favors, we may find their skeleton. Still, we haven't found a fossil, which is in its original condition. But now we were close. In 2011 a person, named Sean Funk, was controlling an excavator, in a mine in Canada. This 200 feet deep excavation was being done for Suncor's Millennium Mine, which is present in the Canadian province of Alberta. The excavation work was at its peak, although the soil was quite soft, and that's the reason why the excavator didn't have to put much pressure. But a point came when the excavator had to exert pressure. Initially Sean Funk thought it might be some big rock. When that rock-like object was given a little force, Sean saw a peculiar pattern being buried inside the ground. A pattern of circles, surrounded by dark brown clay. Anybody, just like Sean, would have halted the work to inspect it closely. And exactly, this is what Sean did. He called his chief supervisor, and for the next several hours, all people working in the mine gathered to see this weird object. But everyone got to know the reality when Dr. Donald Henderson, from Royal Tyrrell Museum, came into the scene. Dr. Donald, who has a vast experience of prehistoric fossils, understood that it is a fossil of such an animal, which was still unknown to mankind. The fossils that were found earlier from Alberta were of plesiosaurs. That's why Dr. Donald believed this fossil might also belong to plesiosaurs. But he had no idea that the thing which is buried in the ground is going to change his life forever. 80 million years ago, this part of Canada from where the fossil was found was under the deep sea. The plesiosaurs that used to live here fell on the ground after dying, and that is the reason why this area had a lot of fossils of plesiosaurs. But was this fossil of this plesiosaurs, or of any other animal? To know all this, it was important to bring it very safely. And this task was not that easy. Excavation experts were hired, and the fossil was carefully taken out of the ground. And now, it was time to load it onto the truck. Experts believe that it could be easily loaded onto the truck with the help of crane. But as soon as the crane exerted some pressure to lift the fossil, it cracked open. But not all hopes were dashed. Despite the fossil broke, but it was still complete. All the pieces of the fossil were packed and sent to Royal Tyrrell Museum, where a fascinating reality was about to be unveiled. At this point, no one knew the reality of the fossil. Due to being inside the ground for millions of years, it was a daunting task to separate the fossil from the rock surrounding it. But it has to be completed. With 5 years, and 7,000 man-hours of hard work, when the fossil was separated from the rock. The scenario that presented itself was hidden for 80 million years. All the paleontologist was surprised to see that this fossil was not of any plesiosaurs, rather it was a fossil of a dinosaur. But everyone got awestruck when they found out that the fossil of this dinosaur was so well preserved that its skin is still undamaged. This was the only dinosaur in the world which was found in an intact condition. Friends, if you like our video, please subscribe the channel. See you with the next video.